Hello, everyone, and good morning to our Wednesday class here at the Shiatsu Centre. You can say hello in the chat. I think Dinah's already popped something in there. That's it. The whole of the UK is nice and warm, apart from Norwich. We're under some cooling clouds, though I think my plants in the garden don't mind a little breather. So welcome everybody to our morning class. We'll bring out some lovely warming sunshine within ourselves instead if you're in Norwich. I'm just going to share some slides to begin with. Here we are. So we are in, for the last couple of weeks, in the metal element. And I think Cliff and Basti have been doing the lung channel. And today we're going to move on to the large intestine. Hello, everyone. That's lovely to see you. So we're moving on to the large intestine channel today, and you might think, what the hell are we doing now? As you can see, it's linked to the autumn season. Well, it's always good to pause for a moment and reflect on what's going on and where we're at in our year, in our day, in our season, in our projects that we're doing. And this is exactly what the metal element does. It's about self-reflection, but being kind, so that kind of maybe meaner self-critic can slightly be put to one side, but it's just about a time to reflect. So I'm just going to go back a couple of slides to show you again, I don't know if we've seen it for a while, the Chinese body clock, the timing of all the meridians within one day. So they exist within us the whole time, and they just pop up and more active at different times in the day. So it doesn't mean that you don't have any of them. You've got all of them. So I'm just going to wind back a couple. So that's our microcosmic orbit, our polyvagal chart, and then here is our lovely Chinese medicine body clock. As you can see, when we apparently maybe wake up and take our first breath, if you're an early bird, lung channel kicks in between 3 and 5. And here comes the large intestine between 5 and 7 a.m. in the morning. It's a time to wake up, a time to release the bowels, kind of makes sense with our large intestine, and to meditate. So we will be looking more at the meditative stage and gently waking up as well in this session today. Hopefully you've done that last one already. That's wonderful. Hello, everybody. I think Dinah's looking after you on the chat, so thank you very much, Dinah. So this is our wonderful clock here. So what I want to do is I will stop sharing these slides for a moment. Great. And what I'd like to do is just pop one poll in the chat for you to answer, just to see how you're doing, how you're coping today, maybe this last few days or this last week. And then we're going to come and sit and check in with our breathing and to see where we're at. So we're not forcing anything at all. So I'll just find this poll for us. I'm going to pop here. How are you coping? I'll share that now. So I'm coping well. I am okay. Neutral, maybe neither stressed nor well. Stressed, I'm very stressed. So just checking in, noticing how we're doing this morning. Okay, so looks like most of you are neutral or okay, which is great. And there's a few of you that are stressed and very stressed. And there's one wonderful person out there. We're doing well. Okay, well, we're all doing well, actually, even if we're stressed. So that's kind of just checking in with how we're doing. It's very tricky, isn't it? I've just fallen into that thing of, oh, that's great that one person's coping well, but actually any of it's great because we're tuning into what's going on for us this morning. And it doesn't matter, it's neither good nor bad. We all fall into this kind of strange way of monitoring how we're doing and kind of judging it. And it's good to have judging and a self-critic, but we can put that to one side, and I'm going to do the same. So we've checked in with how we're doing. I'm going to hide that poll so I can see the chat. We're just going to come and sit, maybe on a chair, or maybe you want to get a bolster. You might want to be kneeling, or perhaps sitting cross-legged. So I'm going to come to kneeling on this bolster. I'm going to allow my pelvis to be nice and easy, making sure my shoulders can roll open. Gently, gently, opening the front of the chest gently. And then I'm just going to rest my hands on my legs here. If you want to, and you find it easier to feel, you can place one hand on the chest and one hand on the belly. So do whatever feels comfortable with your arms. So I'm just going to rest my hands for today. But if you want them on your body to feel where our breath is at this morning, that's also okay. So just to begin with, if it feels okay, you can close your eyes or just have a soft gaze if that's easier. Making sure there's still movement in the spine, so you can wiggle around at any point. We don't have to sit rigid and still. We've still got gentle movement flowing through the body. So we're just checking in with how we're feeling, and particularly on our breath. So just having a natural breath to begin with. And just noticing, where does it come in to the body? Obviously through the nose or the mouth, but maybe it's falling gently down the throat or coming down onto the chest. Maybe it's easing down to the ribs, belly or pelvis. So just noticing where it's gently coming down to. And you might start to see where there's ease in your breath. Or maybe there's an area that feels a bit stuck. And it's okay, we don't have to force the breath at all. We're just noticing how it is this morning. So I definitely can feel the breath nice and easy here. And it gets to about my ribs and it goes slightly holding. So hopefully by the end we'd have reopened up wherever feels blocked, or unless you feel like your breathing is absolutely smooth as a warm hot chocolate and everything's easy. All right, so from here we're just going to do 5 breaths together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So we're just going to draw the breath down just a little bit deeper. We're not forcing anything. So if, like me, you've got a little bit of a block this morning, maybe it's in a different place, we're just going to see where the breath meets the body. And we're not forcing anything, so we don't need to panic, all right? We're putting that little self-critic to one side. Yep, I've got a blocked breath this morning, and that's okay. Or maybe my breath's great this morning, and that's okay. We'll put that self-critic to one side. So we're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, seeing how deep and gently we can go with the breath in the body. So we're just going to gently breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. You might want to sigh on the out breath. Or yawn. Yes, it's about waking up as well, the large intestine. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. We'll do one more slightly deeper breath. Breathing in through the nose, allowing the breath to meet the body, and then breathing out through the mouth. You can sigh or yawn. Yeah. And then we're just going to bring the breath back to an easy, natural breathing rate. Just letting it settle again. Then from here, if your eyes are closed, we're just going to very gently open them. I'm going to come back to the screen so I can find one more poll for us before we get moving a little bit more. And hello for anybody who's just joined. I will just find this other poll for us. Here it is. When you breathe in, where does the lowest part of the breath go? Did you feel it in the upper lungs, right here underneath the collarbone, the mid lungs, the upper abdomen underneath the ribs, or the lower abdomen? So just checking in to see where the breath came down into the body. That's brilliant. Okay, we're doing great. So the majority of the answers so far is that the breath came down to the upper abdomen and then the lower abdomen, some on the lungs and a couple of you on the upper lungs. So same thing again, that self-critic, we're just noticing where we're at, judging it, we'll just pop that to one side. So that's really great. Thank you for doing that. Okay, so from here, before we come up to standing and have a little bit of a shakeout and get warm, I wanted to do point of the week twice, like Basti's done, because I realised I really enjoy it and I hope that it's beneficial for you as well. So I'm going to pop these slides up again, make sure I get the right ones. So here we are on our Chinese body clock, large intestine, between 5 and 7, waking up, releasing the bowels and meditating. So about reflecting, allowing things to settle. So usually I find this part, the metal element, is usually at the end of a project or just when things you kind of are finished, but you're just processing kind of what's going on, reflecting on everything. And that can be at different times in your day, in your week, or maybe at a more poignant time in the year. So I'm just going to wiggle through these slides. Close your eyes if they're going too quick. We've done the lung channels already. And now we're on our wonderful large intestine. And we're going to begin on number 4. Contraindicated point, everyone. FYI, if you are pregnant, please do not press this point. As you can see, it's not on these points. I've got this most wonderful, massive acupuncture book. It helps induce labour. So if you're in the beginnings and the middle part of your pregnancy, please do not touch this point. It's very good for when you need to give birth, though. It helps release things go down, and it's a very strong point. It's called, in English, the Great Eliminator. Whether that be a baby to get out, to give birth to, whether that be any stuckness in our digestive system and we need to release the physical, but also our emotions. If there's things that we can't quite let go of, obviously we need time to process and to reflect on, and that's what the metal element and the large intestine is really good for. But when we haven't let go of things and we've held on for them for maybe a little bit too long, the large intestine channel is really good at helping us to do that. So, yes, thank you, Dinah. The other names is the Great Eliminator. As you can see on the picture, we have got our hand and it's on the metacarpal of the index finger, and it's halfway down on that metacarpal on the bone. So before I take the slides off, I'll tell you what it does. It's great for headaches, any problems in the head, and also any pain in the body. I'm going to read also from this huge book. It regulates the defensive Qi and adjusts our sweating in the body. It expels wind and releases exterior. So for our everyday use of language, so when cold enters the body, wind enters the body, maybe other pernicious influences from outside enter the body, this one's really good at releasing what's come into our body from the outside. Okay. It regulates face, eyes, nose, mouth, and ears. So any problem in the head, this point is great for. It activates the channel and alleviates pain in the body, induces labor, and restores the yang. Just what Dinah's put in the chat there is also useful for stimulating the yang energy of the body. That's the moving, activating, warming, and transforming energy. So I will stop sharing these slides, and there's a really nice way of finding it. So if you place your hand upwards with the thumb at the top, you can see, maybe if I put here like that, you have like a little bulge, a little mountain on the index finger part of the hand when the thumb's closed, and there is your large intestine 4, and we want to go down onto that part of the bone. So if the hand's flat, we're moving into the point this way, so not on the top, more on the side, all right? So we're just going to move back. If anybody is pregnant and doesn't want to touch this for the reasons that we've suggested, gently hold the end of your index finger where the channel begins. So we can gently hold the end of the index finger here, using a thumb or a finger, and you can rest your hands on your lap. I'm just going to gently press this point, and we don't have to go hard because sometimes it's a bit painful. We're just going to breathe in and then breathe out, sending the energy into this lovely point in the hand. Breathing in, breathing out. One more here, breathing in and then breathing out. And then we're going to release that. We're going to find the same on the other hand. Same thing. So if you put the thumb on the top of the hand, so the bulgy bit on the top here, we're going to go into that point there. Same thing again. If anybody's pregnant, take a hold of the end of the index finger and gently hold. So not forcing any pressure on the end of the finger. And the same on the large intestine point 4. So just going to breathe in, breathing out, sending the energy through the arms and down to the thumb. So as we breathe out, we can gently let go. Breathing in and then breathing out. Starting to feel the channel opening up. Maybe the face getting clearer. I can definitely feel my blockage around the middle part of my ribs easing. We'll just do one more here. Breathing in and breathing out. Wonderful. I'm just going to release the point or the end of the finger. And gently make our way to standing. That feels right. I'm just going to move that bolster out of the way. So taking your time to come up to standing. All right. Nice and easy in the feet. And I thought just to help us connecting with the earth first, we're just going to pad the feet in the ground. You might want to move a little quicker, keeping the ankles soft, the knees soft, the hips soft in the front. Might want to take a little free wiggle of the pelvis, the ribs. Oh, if you want to yawn, feel free to. You might gently, padding the feet in the ground, allowing the heels to find the floor as well. Because sometimes when we're in a hurry, this kind of thing happens. But let's find the whole foot on the floor, really resting into the earth so that we're free to breathe in and let things go. We've got a nice stable ground. All right. And then we're just going to move With our feet connected in the ground, we've got a nice space between the legs. We're just going to move from one foot, allowing the weight to pull up into the pelvis and down the other leg. We've got easy arms and shoulders. Not forgetting to release the jaw as well. Yeah, if you're yawning, that's great. Things are shifting and clearing. Old oxygen and air's moving out of the body so we can breathe in much easier. So gently pouring from one side to the other. Wonderful. All right. And then allowing the weight to gently settle in the middle. And I thought we could come to some self-kenbiki, bit of wiggling and shaking out this morning. Normally we start from our feet and work all the way up, but today I feel like we can start with the hands and we're going to shake our way down, all right? So starting with the hands, nice and easy, we're just allowing the fingertips, the palms to be like cooked spaghetti or wet noodles, allowing the bones to be soft and easy. So we might not want to be so vigorous this morning. You might really want to go for it, or perhaps being a little bit more gentle is better. Into the wrist. Might want to bounce the hands up or down. Seeing what shaking feels good for the fingers and the wrists. And our thumbs as well. Do a lot of thumbing and typing and texting, so it's really good to release these into the forearm. Elbows. Oh yes, my elbows are feeling it today. I think they've been doing lots of work, so holding things, picking things up. We want to be kind to our elbows as well. Wonderful. Into the upper arm, so it doesn't matter what it looks like. That little self-critic can stay to one side. Into the upper arm and the shoulder, so allowing the arms to be like cooked spaghetti, doesn't matter where they go. Maybe you're being a little bit more easy with the arms, with the movement. Easy breath, allowing a little bit more space in here, and the ribs can move as well, all right? We're nicely connected into the ground. Wow. And then just to finish off the arms, imagine you've got something sticky on your hands and you want to get rid of it, and we're going to chuck it on the floor a few times. So allowing that sticky thing to be shaken off, opening the large intestine channel and letting it go. Lovely. My hands are nice and clear, no dotty bits. So if you're finding you've got little dotty bits on your hand, give another little shake out. Wonderful. All right, let's move to, so our limbs, yes, it looks like we've got 4, but I like to work with our 6 limbs, the head and the tail as well. So we've done our arms, so very gently, we're just going to take the head to look from one side to the other. Very easy, allowing a little bit more space underneath the occipital part of the skull. Finding my words this morning. And making sure we don't strain anything in the neck. So if our neck's not moving nearer 90 or however many degrees, we can draw it in, making a smaller range of movement. So we're not forcing anything. We can stay at this slower pace with the head moving from side to side. If you want to release the face and give the head a little bit of a shake just for a moment, please feel free to join in. If that's going to make you dizzy, stick to this easy movement with the head. You can make a noise as well. I like to make a noise. And then moving the head again, gently from side to side. Oh, well, that feels much better. Great. We're going to bring the head back to the center. So we've moved the arms, shoulders, a little bit the ribs, head and neck. Let's move down to our tail. So softening at the knees and the ankles, we're just going to take the tail behind us. So this is where we can stick the bum out a little bit, imagining we've got a larger tail like a cat or a fish, and allowing the pelvis just to swing from side to side. And it can be gentle and small underneath us. We might really want to get in a little bit deeper into the joints at the front. So doing whatever feels comfortable, and our feet are nice and planted in the ground so we can move with ease with the rest of the body. Easy arms. All right. If you want to go a little bit quicker, you can move the pelvis back underneath and allow a little wiggle through the hips, allowing the spine to go with the movement as well, having a little shake out of your tail feathers this morning, allowing the head to go with it as well, or we can stay a little bit bigger and smoother. Easy breath. Wonderful. All right. So we've slowly shaken all the way down. Hands, head, neck, spine, ribs, hips. I'm going to allow the pelvis to gently find a comfortable place, hanging down towards the ground as we're standing. Great. Allowing the weight just to settle and really just drop. This is where we can use gravity. Yeah, we don't have to go against it. Easy breath. We're going to shift the weight into one foot and pick up one to give it a good shake out. If you want to lean on something, wall or chair, please do. So, and you can pick up the foot drop the foot down and pick it up anytime. So giving the whole foot a good shake out. You might want to move the leg in a different manner. Yeah. Easy breath. You can put it down and pick it up at any time. Allowing all those bones in the foot to be shaken and gently awoken. Yeah, into the ankle, into the lower leg, into the knee. Yes, into clearing. I'm yawning my head off. Into the thigh, so we can give the thigh a good old shake out. Yeah. And then there's two ways of helping the hip to undo. Make sure you've got room behind you and in front of you. We can swing the leg forward and back or across the body, opening to the side and across, or forward and back. If this is not okay for you, if you've got lower back issues or pain in the hip, place the heel on the floor. You can do this sitting as well, softening that supporting leg and gently rock the heel to undo the hip socket here. All right, so there's two ways of doing it. Or maybe you want to do it anyway like this. Even if you can't do this, you can choose what you want to do. All right, give it a nice swing. Oh, I don't know, that feels really good to me. And then we're just going to shake the leg out. You can have a little hop. Same thing with the hands, flicking something sticky off the foot. Wonderful. And we're going to come to the center and do the same with that. Whoa, feels so much better. Fluffy, big, energized leg. Just as Dinah said in the chat and in the acupuncture book, it helps to stimulate the yang in the body. So softening into that lovely foot. And we're going to shake out the other foot. Cook spaghetti toes, cook spaghetti bones in the feet, into the ankle. Oh, a bit clicky this morning on my right side. Into the calf and the lower leg. Into the knee. Yes, that's my knee that's very clicky. So if you've got clicky knee, you might want to be a bit more gentle with it. Into the thigh. Give a little wiggle. And then we're going to go up into the hip. So same thing again. We can swing the leg, making sure you've got plenty of room behind you, or placing the heel on the floor and giving the leg a wiggle. So doing whatever feels comfortable for you. Swinging the leg, front and back, or maybe open to the side and across the body. Lovely. And then gently flicking. You can hop if that feels good. Really get it out. Wonderful. Coming to the center, just giving everything a little bit of a shake to settle. Wonderful. Here we are. Oh, great. We're just going to let everything start to settle. That whole thing of reflecting, connecting in with meditating within our metal element, our large intestine. So from here, perfect timing, I thought we could do our makaho, which is a set of stretches or openings for our meridian pairs. And I thought we could do the lung and large intestine one. So I'll talk us through it. I'll also demonstrate on the chair, so if anybody wants to do this sitting, they can. There's many ways you'll see in the books that you can do it. I tend to go at a softer approach, especially through the joints of the shoulders. So it's going to open up the front of the shoulders and into the back, and opens and clears the front of the face. So if anyone's got blocked sinuses, this one's really good for that. So we want to open up the index finger and the thumb. Thumb is lung, large intestine is index finger. So this is where we're opening up these channels. Okay, I'll show it really quickly and then I'll talk us through it a bit slower. So we're going to breathe in, take a yawn if that feels good, and then as we breathe out, we're going to soften the front of the body all the way over. The hands find themselves on the sacrum at the back, heads relaxed. You can either clasp the fingers together and point the index finger out, a bit like a James Bond skinny gun here at the back, or you can interlace the thumbs together and make it like an eagle pose, lengthening the index finger a little bit more. And then if it feels all right, you can gently allow the arms to float off. But if this is kind of really uncomfortable on the neck or the shoulders, keep the hands on the back of the pelvis. Then we're going to soften the knees, undo the hands and allow them to float up. So let's do it all together. Whilst we do it all together, I will show it sitting on a chair. All right. So if we're standing, got easy feet in the ground. If we're sitting, the pelvis is easy and the feet are in the floor as well. We're going to take a nice breath in. The arms are floating all the way up towards the sky. Oh, you might want to take a breath in and yawn. Oh, and then as we breathe out, we're just going to gently fold forward. So softening the knees if we're standing. If we're sitting, start to gently fold forward. Use your hands on your legs. If it's okay to, you can allow the chest to find the legs and then interlace the fingers behind the sacrum. Making sure our head and neck are nice and easy. Take a breath in. We can either hold the whole hand interlacing all the fingers or just the thumbs. And then if we're okay to with the shoulders, breathing out, allowing the hands to just gently lift off the pelvis. If there's any difficulty in your breath, keep the hands on the sacrum. Breathe in here. Breathing out, the hands find the sacrum again. And then we're going to uncurl. So if we're on the chair, you might want to use your hands on the legs to uncurl. And then the hands just gently float up in front of us. And then we'll undo them. Wonderful. All right, I'm just going to pop this chair to one side. So that's it sitting. So I'll do a couple of times with you. Anytime you want to rest, please do. So we're just going to breathe in. Allow the arms to float up. Breathing out, softening forward. Really yawning if you want to. Releasing the back of the head. Hands find the sacrum. They can stay here. Keep the legs nice and soft. If there is a bit of room in the back of the legs, you can lengthen the legs away, but we don't want to lock in the knees. We're going to keep the legs nice and elongated and soft at the joints. Breathing in. And as we breathe out, the hands just might gently float away from the sacrum towards the sky. Oh, you might want to roll the shoulders, drawing them up as well towards the ceiling. Breathing out, the hands find the sacrum, soften the knees, pelvis comes down towards the ground. Undo the hands and they float all the way up. So we're just going to do it once more if that feels all right. Breathing in, rest if you need to. Breathing out, gently folding forward. Even if you're sitting. Release. Yes, yawning like my head off this morning. Having the hands clasped or interlaced on the sacrum, breathing in. And as we breathe out, if it feels okay, you can allow the hands to come all the way off the sacrum towards the ceiling. Checking in with the shoulders, you might want to draw them up so the front of the chest is open. If that's too much, you can change your mind and bring your hands back to the sacrum. Breathing out, the hands find the sacrum, soften the knees, uncurl, hands undo, floating the arms up to the front. And then undoing the hands here. Wonderful. And we're just going to take a moment here. You might want to rearrange the feet or how you are sitting. I like this idea of gently reflecting. So I'm putting in today, each time we do something, that we just take a moment to pause, to let things settle, to notice what's going on in the body, in the breath, maybe in your mind and thoughts. It's the same in the yoga that I learned in the Skaravelli yoga. Vanda Skaravelli always talked about undoing the doing. That's really important, that moment where we can undo and let things settle. Wonderful. Great. So from here, how are we getting on? I'll come and check the chat. I think Dinah's really good. Yes, wonderful. So from here, I thought we could do a little bit of do-in, especially around the head. So we'll start at the head and move downwards, just like we did with our self-shaking and Kembiki. So I'm going to come a little bit closer so you can see. You can do this standing or sitting. And we're just going to rub the hands together. But mine are quite warm right now. I don't know about you. And then just to begin with, we're going to place them either side of the eyes on the temple. Allow the breath to sink in, easy with the hands on the head. Yeah, really yawning and clearing things this morning. I always find when I work on the large intestine, I yawn a lot and my eyes tend to water. I find that things really clear out with this channel when I've got attention on this channel. All right, so from here, we're going to start with bladder. I know we're going to come to large intestine, but we're here on the eyebrows. So gently, like heavy raindrops over the forehead from the eyebrows, making a nice line over the top of the head. And then all the way down, excuse my ridiculously messy hair, to the back of the skull, underneath, so either side of the spine and down onto the neck. So we'll just do that again. So I'll turn sideways. We're going to tap eyebrows, easy shoulders, easy jaw, easy elbows. Excuse me. Really clearing all the way down either side of the spine. Wonderful. And then we're going to come to, I'll stay sideways because it's quite helpful, I think. We're going to come to our eyebrows. So we're going to find the gallbladder and it makes a lovely little zigzag. Imagine there's like a banana shape on the side of your head. So we can do that with thumb, index finger there and thumb on the other part of the channel. So either side of the head, or I like to give this one a bit of a good tap. Oh, especially at the back of the neck there, yes. So if there's any blockages around the ribs, like I had at the start and the breath's not moving down, this is the one that we want to get. So either side of the head, around the ears and into the side of the neck there. Do it once more. Wonderful. And then we're going to find the edge of the eyebrow into our triple heater. This will also help with all the other channels. I'll turn this way a little bit more. So we're going to gently tap either side of the eyebrows down to the ear. We're going to go round and behind the ear, just underneath here, and then along the side of the neck, just there. Do that a couple of times. Gently, end of the eyebrows to the ear, around the ear, side of the neck. Once more. So we're going to tap all of the channels of the face, all right? Let's move round to the front of the face here. Hopefully, Dinah, you'll know if I've missed any. We're going to get to the one that we're going to do the most today, our large intestine channel. So now we're going to find the stomach. So it starts with the eyes. You see food and you want to eat it. So that's where the stomach channel starts. Very, very gently underneath the eyes. Release the jaw, coming underneath the cheekbones. And then very gently at the front of this sternocleidomastoid, because it attacks to your sternum, gently tapping down here. So we'll do that a little bit more. Oh, once more here. Wonderful. All right, little bit fire element. So either side of the ears, if you've got sideburns, we're going to follow those bad boys. So making a triangle to the center of the cheek and then back out again. This is the small intestine. You might want to release the jaw a little bit. Oh, a little bit here, and then it comes back again, making little triangles. Great. We are getting there on our channels. Ta-da! We're going to find large intestine, and it's the end of the channel. Either side of the nose. We'll find this in a couple of weeks. Welcome fragrance. And we're going to follow the smile lines. So I'll do one side. Smile lines all the way down the face here, across under the jaw, and then across the sternocleidomastoid onto the shoulder. So gently, gently tapping. Oh, this point, by the way, is really good for hay fever. So if any of you are welling up with pollen floating around these days, that point's really good for that. But that's like a spoiler alert for later in the few weeks. So tapping either side of the nose, the smile lines to the jaw, and then across our sternocleidomastoid. We'll do this once more. Wonderful. Thank you, Dinah. Sternocleidomastoid. Love that one. It sounds like a dinosaur. So I'm going to come up to standing because we've now done all of the channels, I think, of the head and face. We're going to come all the way up to standing if you're not already. So we've done all of these in the head. We're going to clear them down the arms. We're going to tap into our lung and then large intestine channel on the way back up. So allowing one arm out. You can use a loose fist or fingertips. On the front of the channel, just checking the time, we're doing great. So tapping along the chest, and then we're going to go down the inside part, the top edge, inside part of the arm. We've done these points already last couple of weeks, all the way to the thumb. We're going to turn that hand over on the index finger. We've already found point of the week, and we're going to come back to it in a minute. Up the large intestine channel. Ooh, today mine really needs a good amount of tapping. So if yours is sensitive, perhaps you need to be a bit more gentle. So we've come up to the top of the shoulder, near around the back here, because this is where it joins. We're going to go back down the lung channel. So breathing in, feet are nicely planted in the ground, tapping all the way down to the thumb. Yeah, every time I touch my large intestine channel, I'm yawning my head off. So clearly clearing things. Once more, tapping all the way down. You can be a bit more gentle. You don't have to be as strong as me this morning. Tapping all the way up. Oh, you might want to make a Tarzan noise on the front. Oh, and then we're going to do the other arm. Tapping down the inside. And ooh, this side needs a little bit less pressure. So do what feels good for you, even if it's different to one side than the other. Tapping on the index finger, all the way up to the top of the shoulder. Again, if anybody's pregnant, please be careful around this point on the hand. So maybe start tapping from the wrist up, okay? Thumb, index finger. So I've swapped to fingertips on this side. Feels like it needs less pressure than the left. Up the index finger all the way. I'm something at the elbows. If you notice something, you want to stay there a bit longer, please do. Once more here. Wonderful. All the way up. And then we're just going to very gently find the chest. You might want to do fingertips or loose fists. And then coming to the sternum. So this is where we will use fingertips. I'll come a bit closer. Very gently down the middle of the sternum. And then underneath the ribs, the bottom of the ribs. All the way to the edge. Do that once more, very gently tapping. This is sensitive area. Certainly don't want to give that area a good whack. We want to be gentle all the way to underneath the ribs. I'm going to turn around to show the next bit. Careful of shoulders. We don't want to cram anything up too high. I'll turn around. Allow the head to fold forward a little bit. And then using our large intestine 4-point, or the kind of back part of the hand, I'm going to gently tap around the kidney area. So if this is uncomfortable, keep the arms lower. In around the lower ribs, either side of the spine, and then we're going to come all the way down to the sacrum, the back of the pelvis, in between the sacroiliac, our sacroiliac joint between the sacrum and our iliac, our side of the hips. And then this is where I like to come back to a loose fist into the glutes. Oh yeah, that's it. Those muscles like a little bit more pressure on the whole. All right. And then either side of the hips, opening the hands out. And I'm going to show a little bit of a variation on the legs. We're going to tap into the Masanaga extensions. Yes, whoa. So if any of you have done second and third year in the diploma, you will know where the Masanaga extensions are. If you don't, it doesn't matter, because we're going to do them right now. So large intestine literally does come round the back, wiggles up this way, over the ribs and round the back, and obviously to eliminate. So back of the legs, but we want not the side, because that's gallbladder, not the immediate back, because that's bladder. Imagining our leg is like a box. So we've got two sides this way, and we've got the front and the back. We want the corner, the back corner, all right? And we're going to tap down this back corner edge here. And then to come back up, what shall we do? Yes, I've caught myself out there, haven't I? We're going to come, let's find kidney, because that's a nice one. So under the foot there, we're going to come up the inside to the pelvis, and then we're going to go down the corner, the back corner edge. Young large intestine, softening the knees, relax the head, and then we'll come up the inside of the kidneys, round the ankles, into the knees, and then all the way up to the pelvis. It does come around a different way at the top, but we'll do that for today. So tapping down again once more, going as far as is comfortable. Even if we don't get to our feet, that's okay. Imagining that we are. Intention is key. Softening the knees, coming all the way back up. Wonderful. And we're just going to take some circles around the belly. And I like to go right hip, up to the right ribs, across to the left, down to the left hip. This is the way our digestion system moves, our large intestine. This movement's actually really good if you've got any trap wind. I highly recommend it. Give your belly a rub in this direction and it will definitely help. And we're drawing the Qi all the way in, allowing the spiral to get smaller and smaller, circling all the way till we rest on our dantian, our center underneath the belly button. Wonderful. Breathing in. You can close your eyes here if that feels okay. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then we're going to come back to a natural, easy breath. You might want to keep the hands on the dantian just for a moment more. Or perhaps you need to release them, and that's okay as well. Then gently taking the hands away from the belly, but that energy is going to stay in there. We're not removing it when the hands come away. So that wonderful energy we've made can stay in the belly, in the dantian, gently moving the hands away from the body. Great. So we're going to come and find our feet. So today we've worked from the top down. We're sending things down and away. If you want, you can sit on the floor. I'm going to get the chair so you can have a look at the feet a little bit easier. Bring back the chair again. Wonderful. We've got a few more minutes. So we're going to be connecting with the feet, find our point of the week again, and then I've got a meditation for the end to wrap up this whole session. I can't believe the hour's almost up. Okay. So taking a hold of one foot and ankle. And just to begin with, we're going to give the foot a really nice squeeze and wake up. You can do this sitting down. If you've got someone at home that wants to do it for you, ask them kindly and say it's my fault that they have to squeeze your feet. So we're imagining that the foot is clay that needs warming up. So we're making our feet malleable before we sculpt them. So giving a nice squeeze, maybe wiggling them, toes or the soles of the foot, soles of the feet. Easy breath, not forcing anything. Checking in, you can come back to sitting a bit and then come back to the feet. And then what we're going to do is find our wonderful kidney 1. I think you all know where it is. I'll put my foot up so you can see it. So underneath the ball of the foot, and then between the second and third metatarsal, so kind of in the middle there. And you can use your fingertips, or if it's easier, a bit like this, just the thumbs. And we're going to take some easy breaths. Send that breath down through the arms, into the thumbs. Oh, wonderful bubbling spring to give us some gentle, beautiful energy to keep us going today and for the rest of the week. Great. And then, before we do some tapping on the sole of the foot, I thought we could trace the extension. This is not the classical, this is Zen Shiatsu Masanaga extension, but I'd like to share it with you because it's quite fun. We are going to go, I'll come a little bit closer so you can see, little toe side of the foot, and we are going to gently squeeze round the edge and then all the way here. I'll draw it with my finger underneath the toes on the ball of the foot, here and here, 2 lines like this, like little train tracks. So giving that a little bit of a squeeze. You can have your leg down. I'm just putting my foot in the air so you can see. So we're going underneath where the toes are, on the ball of the foot. You can do that a couple of times. Opening out the lung and large intestine extensions. Who knew you were going to do second and third year diploma stuff this morning? It's good to explore and see what else there is. All right, I'm going to come back up to sitting on the chair, and then we're just going to take an easy rest and give the whole foot a nice tap underneath. And then we're going to do the same with our other foot, so placing that one back down. Oh, feels so much better. So taking a hold of the other foot, giving it a nice squeeze, making that clay really nice and malleable, the clay of our feet. Hopefully we'll all be hop, skipping and dancing down the streets for the rest of the day. Why not make your day into a musical by opening up your feet to begin with? Great. Seeing maybe if there's a little bit of a wiggle in the foot. Wonderful. And then we're going to find our kidney 1. Oh yeah, take a deep breath in there, fingertips or thumb. And then the same thing with this foot, tracing round the edge from the little toe side of the heel all the way around and underneath the toes and ball of the foot. So I'm going to give mine a good old squeeze and a pummel. Great. And then a loose wrist, tapping the foot underneath. And then we're going to rest that foot down on the ground, or if you're sat cross-legged on the floor, that's great as well. We'll just come to placing the legs on the ground, and we're going to come and find our large intestine 4 again, or any contraindicated people out there, take a hold of the end of the index finger and gently hold it. Don't press too hard. So we're going to find our large intestine 4 again, midway down that metacarpal on the index finger, breathing in, breathing out. So we can breathe in, all that good stuff, and then breathe out what we don't need. Breathing in, breathing out. And then find the other side, the other hand, or the end of the index finger. Breathing in. Not pressing too hard. We're not being forceful. If something's painful, reel it back a bit. Breathing in, breathing out. One more. Breathing in the good stuff. Breathing out what we don't need anymore. And then we're just going to release the hands. Roll the shoulders. Checking in. So you can stay sitting. We're coming to our little meditation right for the end to help reflect. So you can stay sitting. If you want to lie down, also, please feel free to. I'm just going to find my glasses so I can actually read it, this visualization meditation for us. Thank you, Dinah, for comments in the chat. So don't you worry for those extensions. It was just a bit of fun. So sitting nice and comfortably. You might be lying down. You can allow your eyes to close, your breath to be easy, just letting it settle in the body, undoing the doing, allowing a time to reflect. And I'm tying in with these lovely words about reflection and the metal element, yes, being linked into the autumn season, and it's May and it's spring. But in my lovely book of Environmental Arts Therapy and the Tree of Life, I've read from it before. I am reading from the November month, but there's a reason for it, and you'll know in a moment. So this time of reflecting, making sure our self-critic is gently put to one side. We don't need to be mean to ourselves. We can just reflect, check in, see how we're doing. So allowing the breath to be gentle and easy, sitting or lying down. You just let these words waft over you as we allow even our thoughts to move like clouds. The Celtic year follows a natural cycle of growth, but it does not begin in spring when maybe life looks like it's returning. Neither does it begin in January when our calendar starts afresh. The Celtic year begins in November in the autumn, when everything around is dying. Because this is when the trees drop their seeds and the cycle of growth begins. The trees are also dropping their leaves, so the new year is sown into the compost of the old. This teaches us two things. The first, that all life is born in the presence of death. It's dependent upon it and sustained by it. So all new beginnings will, if we allow ourselves to feel it, be full of ambivalence because something must be lost as well. The second is that nothing just bursts out of nowhere and takes off and away like a hare. All things begin gently with a seed, an idea, a dream. And this must lay dormant and await its proper time and season before it can grow. So it's the same with our projects, with our work, with our things that we're doing in our lives. Once the project or thing that we're doing has come to an end, things can lay dormant, being reflected before new ideas and things begin again. Even in our everyday, it happens daily. We need that moment for things to rest, settle, let go before new things begin again. So if we have our eyes closed, we're just going to gently open them. Dinah's added a handout. That's wonderful. Thank you. So I know it's 11:01. So we're just going to take an easy breath, maybe a little bit deeper, breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. Yeah, take a yawn. You can move the hands and the arms. And just to finish the whole session off, I just want to see how you're feeling now. Let's see there. More balanced, about the same, or less balanced. Now I am going to put my judging hat on. I really hope not. I'm hoping you're feeling much better. I am. I feel much less blocked around here because we've opened up, let go. I've yawned my head off, so please excuse me for that. If you've been yawning too, that's wonderful. Thank you very much, Dinah, for helping in the chat. It's been wonderful to have you all here, and we'll see you soon. I think I'm back next week. I'm covering for someone who I think Shakura's not able to come next week. So you've got me again, and we're working our way up the large intestine channel, little clue, into the elbow. So have a wonderful week. Use this recording as much as you want. You can do it every day if that helps you to clear and let go and take a moment for yourselves. And see you really soon. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.